Good evening, guys. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. How you doing? Good to see you. Here it is, Thursday again. Wow, where does the time go? Seems like it was just last Thursday, and then it was Sunday, and now it's Thursday again. And in 5 minutes, it'll be Sunday again. Time to do another show. Let's say hi to everybody here. We got Drone Shots. Jody was the first one in the house. Good to see you. Arizona Drone Dude is here. The View Chaser, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hot Rod in Daytona says, Evo got new firmware and it's raining. Hey, for once it's raining where you are and it's not raining where I am. That's unusual. Let's see. Jaybird is here. Joe, how you doing? And Mike Kelly, Copper State Aerial Photography. Good to see you. He just needs a beer. Pete Nunez, my buddy, is here. Hey, Pete, maybe tomorrow we'll be able to fly. It has been terrible out there. It's been windy and cloudy all week long. Agent K, how you doing? Yeah, that fortune thing, I'll show you that again. That's the funniest thing I've seen today. Robert Glazier's with us and Hot Rod against Steve Carpenter. Hi, Steve. How you doing? Well, I sent out a bunch of invites and I don't see anybody cramming my green room full yet, so hopefully somebody shows up because tonight is basically like a Seinfeld episode. You know, these Thursday night things are just chats and panel discussions about this and that. Nothing really planned, but yeah. So Pete, you going to be able to go out? You go out there tomorrow morning if I text you and say, yeah, it looks like we might be able to fly then. All right, I'll remember. Probably about 8:30. I could take a quick look here at my UAV forecast and see what the winds are looking like. Oh, not bad. At 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 miles an hour from the east. That's at 100 feet. Up to 10, up to 9 miles an hour at 10 o'clock, 11 miles an hour. So yeah, it should be a pretty good morning if it isn't. And I think we're supposed to clear out. So cloud covers down, no chance of rain. I'll be there. Unless you hear different, Pete. Unless I tell you I'm not going, you can probably count on me to be there about between 8 and 8:30. So yeah, I miss it. I had to. Usually on these live streams, in the preview or the countdown, I can show some recent flight footage, but I haven't. I haven't flown since I think Sunday morning when I shot the one that I was showing today, and I think I showed it on Sunday too. I think people might be getting tired of that. Might be getting tired of it. Anyway, this is the funniest thing I've seen today. I mean, I just I thought that this was really cool. And I have a funny feeling that that test probably has about the same accuracy as any other tests that we're taking these days. So new rapid test kits have now arrived from China. Yeah, you not have coronavirus. I like the little smiley face guy on there. And speaking of smiley face guys, look who showed up here.
Hello, Mitch.
Hi, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I thought I'd hop in here for a little bit before I have to take off. I can jump in to say hello and join you for a bit.
Good. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
I love it.
Isn't that great?
When that came up in the intro, I about fell out of my chair.
Yeah, I thought what was it? The last 30 seconds of the intro. I think I stuck it on top there. I thought everybody get a kick out of that. That'd be fun.
Exactly.
That'd be fun. So let's see who we got here. Who else is in? We had you came in, and then Ed, love my drones. Oh, for quad's sake, great start at 6 minutes in. Yeah. We're getting it's early on Thursday, Ed, and a lot of people can't make it this early, so it usually picks up a little bit. And that's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Agent K said hi, smiley face. Steve Carpenter. He picked. K is sharp. He picks right up on the theme, picks right up on it, and just runs with it. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Quick. Rick Halber, how you feeling, buddy? You doing well? Mike Night Train is here. How you doing? That's it so far. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. If I did, post something else so I can see you.
No, I think you covered everybody.
I think I got it. I think I got everybody. So, what you been up to?
Well, busy work-wise, and then it's going to be, unfortunately, a start over. Had everything ready to rock and roll with the demo on my project of 3 existing units on this building, and I got text 2 hours before the start. They can't do it.
When you say demo, you mean they're going to tear it down?
Interior tear out of it. Actually,
okay.
They're commercial units, and it's a 3,400 square foot suite. The building has 8 1,200 square foot units, and the one unit is 3,400 square feet, and it's been it's the one that the bar incident occurred in, which I told the story about. Which happened the New Year's day after New Year's, or New Year's Day 2 years ago. Some Yahoo must have been over there. Don't know what it was about, but it was about a girl and another guy.
Usually is.
And all of a sudden, the next thing we go up and reviewing all the camera footage that we have, he pulled out a 9mm and starts firing at this guy as this guy goes flying out backwards and decides to tear out the main water supply to the building, hits the power transformer to the area, and he gets away, thank God. He does the destruction, but we didn't know what it was. We were going after him, and come to find out, of going back through the video footage, when you see the flashes coming out of the muzzle out of the 45, the 9 mil, I just all of a sudden going, I was downstairs and I go, holy shit. And my wife goes, what happened? He says, come here and look at this. You can see the flashes coming out of the gun.
Oh, wow.
And
was he trying to shoot the camera out or what?
He was trying to shoot the guy in the car. The car was fleeing from him. He was with this girl, and the next thing we knew, you could see him walking around to the back of the trunk. And well, anyways, there was a bar that's there, so the bar is gone. So we're gutting the place out.
Okay. So what are you going to turn it into?
Oh, it's going to be open for future tenants. We're going to open it up because it has been closed up. There's no windows, not a single window into the area. It's like one of those, if you go, and if anybody's ever seen Bar Rescue, season 2, it's called The Dive South of the 5. And it was underneath there. At the time, it was called The Rocks.
Oh, cool. Doing any flying? Able to do any flying?
I haven't had a chance to. In fact, all my batteries have gone dead. I had them all charged up, ready to go, and just haven't had the time. And I've been here just working and not being able to fly, but the weather's been great. So hopefully this weekend I can at least get a couple of flights in there and take the batteries all the way down.
So when you say they went dead, you mean they discharged down to self-discharge? Yeah. That seems like it always happens to me. I think mine are set to like 3 days. So it never fails. If I charge them up and then can't fly and I'm ready to fly and I just get ready to go fly, it's like the day after and they decided to discharge themselves.
Exactly. I think, I don't know what it is for the Mavic Air 2 since they did that update, but I know on my original Mavic Pro, it's 10 days. You can actually set the days on it. And I haven't looked in the Fly app to find out if you can actually set the days like you can in the Go4 app.
On the Mavic Air 2. Okay. I wouldn't know about that. I've never.
The Mavic original. The
original Mavic, you could set the days because I remember that. And then when the Mavic 2 first came out, you couldn't originally on the Mavic 2. You're stuck at 10 days. But then in one of the future firmware updates, they did reinstate that ability to set the discharge rate. And I set it at 3 days. If I charge them up and I haven't flown them in 3 days, I think it's probably a good practice to let them. And they discharge very slowly too, because that generates heat. So I think it takes maybe a day or two for it to discharge.
Well, I either have the one in the drone, and then the rest of them I keep them in lipo bags. So, if anything was to happen, they'll be somewhat protected. Yeah,
they're not going to blow up. They're not going to explode, but the longevity of the battery, I think, is affected if you leave it, especially if you leave it in a warm place, fully charged. I think like people charge up a whole slew of batteries, throw them in the trunk of their car, park their car out in the Arizona sun where it's 127 degrees and wonder why their batteries are all puffed up and don't work anymore. Yeah.
Why won't it fit in the drone anymore?
Yeah, damn, I can't fit this in. Or this thing feels kind of like the lipos that we use in FPV. Of course, they don't have the plastic case around them, so when they puff up, they feel all spongy. Yeah,
they swell.
They do.
They really swell.
Speaking of swell, there he is,
Mr. Mitch, Mr. Steven. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Carlos?
I'm swell.
Good evening to you.
You're swell. Yeah.
I'm doing swell. Hey, Mr. Ray Kelly's in the house.
Hi, Ray. How you doing? And Michael Blade I saw he came in. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. You get the flyers. It's still miserable weather in Florida.
No, it's miserable today, but it looks like tomorrow might be the day. Yeah.
Nice.
Might be the day.
I had a totally
they're
lazy day
calling
today.
Really? You didn't fly?
Nah, it was kind of crappy too. Drizzly, foggy, and I don't know, wet grass. So I was
Did you
just
have rain again today, Mitch?
lazy.
What's that?
Did you have rain again today?
Yeah, a tiny little bit. Not as bad. It's starting to move out, starting to clear out, but it's still been windy here. And but I did vote this morning.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, went and voted. Going to go vote again tomorrow. Maybe
Wait,
Tuesday
again?
also. Maybe next week
Yeah,
on
well,
Tuesday.
you can do
maybe
that, I guess.
swing by again. Yeah, well, my old motto is vote early and vote often.
There you
I
go.
think they don't check anything, so you're allowed.
No, they
Quick
check.
hello to Jay Bird and Agent K, who said hello to me.
So I go in.
Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
a different park this morning, a park a little bit closer to me that I'd never been to. Turns out it's a huge, big park, just like the one I go to, and it had all the same stuff in it. It's just a little different layout. But so I get up to the community center building, and it's the same friggin' building. I mean, brick for brick, same building, built off probably by the same contractor, off the same bid and the same plans. I mean, I walk inside and it's like, deja vu. It's the same building, and that's why we can't fly indoors at our park, because they're having the early voting there for the southern part of the county. So I go in there, and the parking lot had a lot of cars in it, and a lot of people standing out there with signs. A lot of people with signs, and I said, "Oh, this is going to be a long wait." Turns out all the cars in the parking lot, or at least 98% of them, were the people with the signs and the poll workers. Because when I got in there, there was actually two people actually voting, and I think I made the third.
Signs meaning for candidates?
Yeah, they had the Trump signs and the Biden signs, and out in the parking lot they're allowed to do that. So
in California, you cannot have any signs within 500 feet of a polling area.
Well, no, they were outside of 500 feet from the front door of the poll.
Oh, okay.
In other words, they were starting on the road coming in and that side of the parking lot. So they were at least 500 feet, I'd say, from the door. But this is a big place with a lot of room for people and signs. And so I get in there, and everybody, of course, is properly attired in personal and PPE with their masks. And I walk up to the lady who is, behind the plastic, like with the slot underneath for you to hand, And I said, "What do you need?" She says, "Well, I need a picture ID." So I pull out my driver's license and I hand it to her, and she's got a clothespin in her hand, a clothespin. And she reaches out with the clothespin and takes my driver's license from me. And with the clothespin on the driver's license, she holds it up and looks at it, and then hands it back to me with the clothespin, never actually touching the driver's license. So
safety first.
Oh man! And then they've got a thing where you have to sign, but you don't use a pen. It's one of these electronic things, like. Right. So they have a whole. I saw this bucket of cotton swabs with long wooden sticks sitting next to this thing, and I said to myself, "No, don't tell me they're going to stick swabs up our noses too." Turns out the swabs were so you could take the back wooden side of the swab and use it to sign your name, so you didn't have to actually touch the pad with your finger. God forbid the pad might contract COVID-19.
And then you throw it out.
And then, of course, there's a little trash can conveniently located right next to that. So I did that, and then a little printer was there, and out pops this piece of paper like a Lowe's receipt, untouched by human hands, just popped out. So I took it, said, "Now what?" go over there to line B and hand it to them. So hi, Ed.
Hey,
Hello, Ed.
So
Steve.
I go over to line B, and I hand her the piece of paper, and she actually took it from me. She touched it.
Uh-oh.
She touched it, and then she grabbed some ballots and had a folder, and she put the paper here in the folder and lined it all up and handed it to me. And then she handed me a plastic card that basically I'm supposed to leave in the little booth thing to let somebody know that it's COVID ridden and it needs to be disinfected. When I leave this in the booth so that the person dressed up like in a hazmat suit can wander up and down the aisles with a flamethrower can, clean.
You know, if that crap was that viral, Mitch, we'd all be dead by now.
I know. Most of us have had it already anyway. So then I go out, and then you're going to take the machine, you feed it into the machine. Okay. And then I got and then of course the good news is I got a free pen out of the deal, because once you touch the pen, they don't want it back.
Oh, okay.
So the key for these elections is to be in the office supply business, get the Bic pen franchise. You be set for life, man. You got to sell, how many people vote in this country? 100 million? 100 million pens? That's a lot of pens,
Yeah.
Even masks for the next few years, you can make money on these masks.
Oh, God. Well, we all saw the Mask Factory. Remember the Mask Factory I showed on one of my streams?
Like that one.
I want to know how they're going to do it with everything coming in on the mail-in ballots. How they're going to handle all that. You're going to be in a hazmat suit inside a case with gloves, and it's going to be in there like you're in a stage 4 hazmat procedure.
No, like a baby in an incubator sort of kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess they figure that what is the life of this virus on paper? Day, 2 days at the most. I think if they just leave this stuff sit around, I think the answer they have for the mail-in ballots is they have one box. They have a big box over here that says Biden, and then a trash can over here that says Trump.
No, doesn't UV light supposedly?
And I think that's how they sort it. I don't know if UV light does it or not, but I think that's how they.
Sunlight does.
Agent K says Apple is making masks now, but he prefers Android masks.
Yeah, I agree. Quick hello to Mr. Four-Eyed Canine who joined us.
Hey, Four-Eyed Canine.
How you doing?
Agent K, I should have said hi to you earlier, too.
Robert Glazier, I don't know if we said hi to you before, but hello. I think I did.
Robert.
Well, see, in our wonderful state, they've mailed a ballot to every single person. Whether you requested it or not, you sent a ballot.
Oh yeah, all the illegal immigrants got ballots, and
well, we had 5 counties in California in the 2018 election that had anywhere from 3% to 13% more ballots cast than registered voters. So don't you think you would sit there and go in and try to find out what the problem is?
No, and you know what? If California wasn't written off in the first place, people might do something about it. But we just say, California is rated off as a lost cause.
I was just going to say, Mitch. Sorry, Steve, but I think they ought to throw every vote from California just out the window.
Well, they basically said California, New York, Texas, and Chicago.
Not
like
Texas,
25,
no.
It's 25% of the voting in general, population-wise.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of it's done here in Florida.
California, Texas, and maybe even Florida. But that's why you can't go by popular vote. You have to go with the Electoral College. Otherwise, 4 states would pick the president
no doubt about it. But
people don't get that.
But you do know. you do know that the first thing that they want to do if they get in power is do away with the electoral college, and then they got a lock on it forever.
Well, that would be
The
ridiculous.
big cities will just decide what the rest of us
that.
have to put up with.
Yeah.
And DC and Jamaica as states.
Jamaica, yeah. You mean Puerto Rico?
I mean Puerto Rico. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a place in New York called Jamaica States. That's where Trump grew up.
Yeah, Ray Kelly is saying they found more ballots on the side of the road in New York City.
It's not a witch, it's a skeleton.
There you
I
go.
thought it was a. Well, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
No, it's something Robert Glazer said. He says it said something about a witch in the background. I'm figuring he was talking about this. They do look a lot alike, though.
The one up over your right shoulder on the wall hanging. Love
No,
My
that's
Drone.
Ed. It's your Love My Drones logo. It's the wizard. That's what it is. Is that what they're talking about?
Okay.
It's on your XSplit.
I see he's got my face there on his logo.
Saw that.
You and me both. He's got up there. Wow, Ed's on the ball, man. He knows.
Honored. I'm
He knows how
honored.
to suck. He knows how to kiss up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys
like
think?
that.
What do you guys think about traveling with? Yeah, that was a good setup, Ed. But I'm not going to go there anyway. What do you think about traveling before and after this election? You think there's going to be unrest and protest
Nah.
and blocked highways and streets and stuff? You don't think so? What do you think, Steve? Your opinion.
If Trump wins, you bet. In fact,
You think?
I'm
with
my
Steve,
cousin has
man.
two
The
friends that
BLM
are
crowd
real
are going to go
close
crazy. Antifa.
that they're part of Customs Border Patrol, and they have nothing but train to be
Right.
brought in to help and assist.
Yep.
And also the military base has been practicing, and military have been practicing for civil unrest.
And the NYPD, just so you know, that's what they've
Yeah,
been.
most major cities. I know LA, LA Police Department, and several others. And
You
I
know any police? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I do.
No, I was going to say to Mitch, does he know any police that he can talk to? Find out what's going on.
No,
in
but
Florida.
I agree. There might be some whether there's going to be so much of it that you couldn't get from there to here. It's hard.
Right.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I mean, you'd think if they were going to block off anything, they'd be blocking off the major interstates. And
That's my issue.
so
That's how it. That's
yeah,
how it.
but how long are they going to be able to stay camped out on the interstate before the National Guard
No,
comes in?
that cannot happen. I'm sorry. There
Yeah,
is.
Do you imagine I go to prison because I'm traveling from north to
No,
south?
you're not.
And
Why would you
somebody
go to
gets-
prison?
You're
somebody
blocking
gets
the
in my
road, I'm
way.
driving through you.
Well, that's
Get
what I'm
the
saying.
hell out of our way.
I would
I'm
fear
driving
for my life. I would just keep going. Like, even if it's 10, 15 miles an hour, I'm going. Like these, I never got these movies where this motorcycle gang's going after the car and the guy's going, oh, instead of like this. It's just running over.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Hey, welcome, Chris Hope. Speaking
Mr.
of driving, there he is. How you, Chris?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing this evening?
Howdy, Chris.
Doing.
Y'all doing all right?
He's pretty cool looking,
Doing
like
fine, buddy.
ZZ Top looking character, Mr. Chris Hope.
We are just going to.
You ever think of like a little braid going down your beard in the middle, Mr. Hope? Little something hippie like? No.
I think
think
Chris
he froze.
looks like he froze up there.
You scared the hell out of him.
I guess, yeah. Or maybe there's a protest on the road right in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
These
There
Oh,
he
here
is.
he is. He's back.
And froze again.
You got a real bad signal there, Chris, wherever you are. Oh,
There it dropped out. Yeah,
Try
they had a couple of drop-off mail boxes. The ones that are just put out in the mail.
Mhm.
Ended up throwing in lit pieces of paper into the inside.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
I
saw
heard
that.
of that.
I
Yeah.
saw that on the news. Yeah. Yeah, I'm dropping my ballot in some cardboard box that says ballots on the street.
No, these
Yeah.
are metal
official,
boxes.
official ones.
Official metal boxes.
Crazy. Mr.
Whatever
DVR
happened
just
to
joined
the
you.
whatever happened to the day? I mean, and we need to get back to it. You want to vote? Here's the voting day. Here's the
Yeah.
polling place. Get your ass down there. Now, if you've got a really great excuse, you write in for an absentee ballot and you get your excuse, and they'll send you an absentee ballot. Like, I'm serving in the military over on the other side of the world. That's a good excuse. But this nonsense, and that thing in Pennsylvania about an extra 3 days,
And no postmark.
an extra 3 days
That's bullshit.
to cheat. The election's over, but we have 3 more days to see if we can't cheat some more.
All right,
There are two
here's
other
my
states.
take on it. See, Florida has been doing early voting for a number of years now, and I do like it. But you go to an actual polling place, and you actually submit your poll and all that. Okay. This year is the first year I ever requested a mail-in ballot. However, at the early voting sites or at the poll on election day, they have boxes right there that are guarded where people can't throw flaming material in there to put your to drop your mail-in ballot, so you don't have to mail it in. You can put it right in a box where it goes directly to the poll workers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not that goes into, that's a Republican vote, let's throw it in the trash can, well, who's to say that doesn't happen anyway? So.
Yep. Mitch,
Well,
quick hello
I-
to Mr. Thunderbird who joined us. What's his whole name?
Hey,
Thunderbird
Mitch.
6.
DVR,
Thunderbird 6.
Erwin is here. Hi,
And
Erwin. How
EVR,
you
yeah.
doing? Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you
remember
off, Steve.
watching my parents vote when I was still in elementary school, and they walk up to these huge booths that had
Oh,
a
yeah.
behind them, and I didn't see the inside, but before they drew the curtains, you'd see all these buttons you would press.
Yeah, you had to pull the levers down.
Hey,
and all that.
I was just going to say, I remember
those-
the levers, actually.
Yeah, the
Pull-
voting booths. They were real voting booths. Hey, Chris, you're back.
Hey, Mitch.
That's
There he
better.
is.
Carlos, Ed, how are y'all tonight?
We're doing well, talking about voting and
Voting and
stuff
how,
like
how the many ways that they can cheat.
I'm voting on supper. That's what I'm going to vote on.
There
I
you
hear
go.
you. Well, I mean, it can go
See-
both ways then, right? If the Dems can cheat, then so can the Democrats. It's got to go both ways. So hopefully everybody cheats.
Oh,
and
I don't. think I honestly, I mean,
equally, is that
may
what
the
you're
best
trying to
cheater
say?
win. That's
that see there, I don't believe that. I mean, the history. There is one difference between Democrats and Republicans, and that is that the shenanigans are usually on the Democrat side. I mean, you just if you remember.
Ray Kelly just made an interesting comment, Mitch. Please organize a drone meetup in Florida this winter. Carlos wants to come down, and then he mentioned some others too.
Steve
Yeah,
Carpenter.
you know what I might try. Do y'all remember that sports stadium that I flew my Mavic 2 at?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Back at that time, I think I still have an in with the guy that runs that. That would be a really fun place to fly drones and fly FPV. I think.
Has potential.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. It's
I also
really
like that
professional.
I also like your park.
The park is a great place too.
So we could do
We
one
have
in
plenty
2
of
days.
places down here to have an event, and we certainly have the hotels for it.
Yeah,
But
Mitch
yeah, it's a
Hotel.
good idea, Ray. When you get, let's talk more about that when you get back down here, because see, Ray is about an hour and a half south of me here. Ed is 2-3 hours north. So I think we ought to have it right at my place, so I don't have to drive real far.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are the pretty central spot in Florida, actually, Mitch. So
That's what I said. Yeah, we
there
maybe
is
we get
some logic to that argument.
You are the
well,
moon.
maybe we get some of the Tampa crowd. Although you know what I've discovered about the Tampa crowd is I honestly don't have much in common with those guys. Those guys are the young hot rod FPV tattooed, pierced, backwards baseball cap set. And I'm not. I'm
Well, we
not
could do
that kind
that.
of an FPV pilot.
Can
Nah,
you
but
turn it
that's not who
backwards,
we
sir?
are.
There you go.
Well, you know what I'm saying. That's the young kids, the FPV bandit type guys. There you go, Chris. You got
Word.
it.
Word.
Where you look like you need a motorcycle, Chris. But it's just and they're all great FPV pilots, but they're it's just not the kind of people that guys my age normally hang out with.
In other words, they're too young.
That's because
They're kids, they're children, they're children, and culturally it's a lot of different thing. But
Hey, Mitch, I got to
us
run, buddy.
us old guys. What's that?
I got to run. I just wanted to hop in for a minute, say hello there, buddy.
Oh, good. Thanks for coming in, Chris. Good to see you, buddy.
Going to watch
See you on the
Seesaw
flip
game.
side.
See you later.
Keep
Yeah,
smiling.
get ready to
Here,
watch.
Chris.
See everybody in chat. We'll see you somewhere.
Take it easy, Chris.
All right.
Take it easy, buddy. Get ready to watch that. What they're have the absolute balls to call a debate tonight.
I'm
Mitch-
not going to be able
Mitch,
to.
you know they have
They're
magnet.
call,
They have magnet earrings, and you can probably get like a stick-on tattoo. You can hang with them. No, not interested.
yeah, no, not interested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I like to say this is that the last debate was ridiculous,
Oh, it was embarrassing. I hate to say
but
it.
well, I mean, part of me, I know Trump interrupted a lot, but some of the crap Biden was spouting, I wouldn't be able to hold my tongue.
you can't keep your mouth. How can you keep your mouth shut when somebody just stands there lying their ass off like that? I couldn't do it. I
No,
can't even
exactly.
watch it. I can't even watch it. I end up just screaming at the TV. And then the town halls that they had, they weren't town halls.
I didn't even
One was an
Shut up.
inquisition and one was a love fest. I mean, and tonight, who they got moderating but some crazy wacko, wild left-wing liberal reporter, and she's going to moderate this thing fairly tonight. Is there not a human being on this planet that is unbiased that they can put in these positions? And the answer is no, because the debate commission itself is biased.
Absolutely.
So how the hell, if I was Trump, Trump doesn't need this debate. He's not going to convince a soul of anything on these debates.
You know what he needs to do is let Joe convince the voters how inept and out of touch he is.
I know
Well,
what's
he's
going to
got-
happen. Joe is not going to debate. He's just going to talk to the screen, and it's going to be a pitch.
Yeah, and
the
he's got
whole
his
2
talking
hours.
points, and he's got his
That's
little
all he's gonna
microphone in
do.
his ear and all that other stuff that he's not supposed to have.
He's
and
not
he's
going to
just
talk
gonna-
to anybody but
He's
America.
going to spurt out lie after lie, and the people who vote for him are going to say, "Yeah, he's right. I believe it." Nobody is going to have their mind changed by this debate, unless something really big happens. And
No,
and Dan
you're
Bongino
right.
today had the best idea. The best, and I think it was his wife that said, you saw it today, didn't you, Steve? He said that every chance he gets, Trump ought to call Biden the big guy. The big guy. And I don't know if you know what that means, but that's what
The emails.
in all those emails that are referenced in all of his son's corruption. He keeps talking about putting away 10% for the big guy, or we need the permission of the big guy. Well, the big guy was Biden. So Trump ought to just keep calling him big guy, and then just standing there smiling.
Yep.
Nobody. You think
Well,
anybody who's voting for Trump's going to change their mind after a debate like this?
No. And what
No.
he needs
Why
to
bother
do,
then?
like Huckabee said, just take the FBI letter and have props that you can hold up and don't talk and just say, can you identify this signature? And why is it that your son's laptop is being picked up for money laundering?
They won't let him even go there tonight. They are going to shut him down and not allow any mention of any real issue whatsoever other than the liberal talking points. And that's going to be it. It's going to be a waste of time, and it's going to be embarrassing to anybody that has half a brain to even watch it.
Hey,
So
Mitch,
I'm
let me
not
say
gonna
hello
watch
to BMAC Aerial Visuals.
Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy?
Hello to everyone.
I'm going to watch Ken Heron
Brian.
instead. Ken Heron will put on a more intelligent show than
Who?
this debate tonight. Ken Heron, yes.
I'm just kidding.
You got to.
In the spirit
I
of
said
Dan. Metro
Oh,
Drones.
Bill. Holy
Wow.
mackerel. Look at
Hey,
you.
Metro.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Bill.
That's
$20
$5.
super
That's
chat.
$5 a head, Mitch. Just so you know.
I'm telling you. Holy cow. Yeah.
I'll be
$5
the
a
good. I'll be the good guy. I'm going to pass on it. And I'm going to.
Let's see. I can probably get rid of these guys one at a time here. Okay. All right. Okay. It's all for me now. All right, guys. Still want your $5 a head? Yeah, I'll bring them back. Okay.
Rough crowd. Rough crowd.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
you got a monologue you're ready to do, Mitch, or what?
Oh, man. Did you guys all see the fortune cookie thing earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Throw it up again, Mitch, in case they missed
was-
it.
I missed it.
Yeah, did you miss this?
I did.
You not have coronavirus.
This is it says the new rapid test kits have now arrived from
I
China.
like those.
You not have coronavirus. Look at the picture, the little picture.
I know.
Perfect.
And does it come wrapped in a mask?
I thought that was speaking of masks, covering up with masks, today in Congress, the Senate committee for the confirmation of Judge Barrett,
Yeah.
the Democrats didn't show up. Okay, instead they had pictures of themselves sitting on the seats.
That's what
No
they do at
way.
baseball games.
Yeah, but I think that some of the pictures of themselves had masks on.
Oh, jeez.
Well, see, I had heard.
They're trying to drive
I
a
heard
point,
this
huh?
morning on the news that the Dems were planning on boycotting that vote. Not that we needed their vote,
Yeah,
but
Make a statement.
that the rules were they had to be present. At least two had to be present for the vote to count. So what was the end result of that? Because they had their pictures there, apparently they were there.
whatever the end result was, I think that it got
12-0.
voted out of committee, and it's gone to the Senate now.
There you
And
go.
What they did is the vote was supposed to happen at 1. They moved it because once they found out what they were doing, Graham moved it up to 9 o'clock and pushed them in and beat them at their own game. Because the meeting was going to do it, and they were going to come in and protest, and then they were going to hold that outside news conference that Schumer had, and so it just screwed the whole thing up on them. So everything blew up in their face. They already passed her out of committee before they could ever even get things set up. It was well done, chess move.
Well, it's about time. I mean, and everybody wonders who the party of dirty tricks is. You know, come on, guys.
They all are.
Well, unfortunately we have a lot of Republicans that aren't really, that are in it for themselves.
Rhinos.
Rhinos.
Exactly, Steve.
The never Trump crowd.
Yeah.
Jaybird's
No,
got it right.
because
Jaybird hit on
right.
the only thing that's important here. He wants another stimulus check to get more drones.
It's helicopter money. Whee.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, a lot of the Republicans, I mean, Trump was, I don't know, what's the word? Anyway, he's just not a politician. He doesn't like playing any of their games.
No, he's not a politician.
Trump is Trump.
And he's beating them all at their own game, which is what's really funny.
And these
Pisses them
guys have
off.
been in there for their lifetime, like Biden and all the rest of them.
Yeah.
They've been in there for so many years. I think the best thing that they should have done is said stimulus check and show a picture of Nancy Pelosi in front of her two $25,000 each refrigerator freezers with their $9 cups of ice cream and says she's eating it. And that's what you should have put up there.
I have a question. Did anybody get any threatening mail from Iran or Russia or any kind of mail that's?
Oh, you mean that email
Yeah.
that
Did
from
you get any of
supposedly
those?
from the Proud Boys? No, I didn't get any of it.
Ed, you get any of those
But that
emails?
was a,
No,
that was a
and
lame.
if I did, I would reply back and say, "Come and get me."
Yeah, right.
No, that was a lame attempt. And interestingly enough, you know, they think they're smart. They think that it was going to get Trump in trouble because it was a threat supposedly against Democrats. Well, that, like most other things, just backfired all over them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I don't know how this kind of shit can keep happening. After 3.5 years of Adam Schiff standing on the news 7 times a week saying it's a Russia conspiracy and I've seen the evidence.
Where is
And
it?
none of that has ever turned out true after almost 4 years, that he can do this, try to do the same damn thing now about this Hunter Biden computer, that it's a Russian conspiracy and I've seen the evidence.
He's not seen it. And then that's where
I
Meadows
think
came out.
some people are afraid of getting busted and they're really desperate and they'll say anything.
They're all
at this point.
panicking because you know what?
That's what I think.
It's this whole thing, in which Mitch will know this because he's been listening to Dan Bongino. This whole entire thing was a cover up, and that's why the impeachment went off. It was to cover up the things that they knew about Biden that were going to get released. That's what this whole entire impeachment process was for, was to cover it up so they wouldn't find out about Biden. And they knew it was going to come out, and it goes all the way back to 2014.
Yep. What state is Schiff from? What state does he represent?
Who?
Schiff.
New York, isn't he a New Yorker? Adam Schiff. Who does he represent? Adam
he's
Schiff.
California. He's here in
he's California.
LA.
Oh, so the other one. It's the other guy that.
Are you guys still there? I just got completely disconnected from y'all, and then I just got reconnected.
We hear you and
kind of
see.
like stalled for a second.
Did I? Yeah. I mean, everything went off. I mean, it's like my internet got disconnected. In fact, I can see it in the feed there that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what happened.
Pencil neck, as I call it.
Oh, it's Nadler that I'm thinking of. Nadler.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Nadler. Yeah, he's anher one. I'll tell you, and people believe these. People believe these, and these lunatics, morons in the news media, back them up on everything. They just carry the water for him.
And you know the one that I'm happy. Of course, he's not up because Schiff is not up for re-election this year. But
Schiff he's
Maxine Waters is, and
she's an idiot too.
Coming in, Maxine Waters may get ousted out for the first time in how many 29.
Well, Schiff's got to run. Schiff's a congressman. They all got to run. They all got to run every 2 years. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
but
and I know somebody was running against him, but the biggest one was against Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters was the chick that encouraged people to interrupt. Like,
you're right, Ray.
Republicans
go
and
out
stuff,
there and
right?
get in their face.
Yeah, and meanwhile they say they never do stuff like that.
Maxine Waters was calling for Trump's impeachment before he was even elected.
Yep.
They're all firing squads. We need to bring back firing squads.
No,
because it used to be treason was a real crime. Remember the days when treason was a crime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the word illegal and it doesn't mean anything anymore. It really doesn't. Or breaking the law. Like, I think there's a lot of underhanded crap going on in politics between both parties.
And here,
everywhere. I agree with that.
And here we are,
there's trillions of dollars just missing, and they can't account for it. Yeah, just missing.
You think? You know, one of the funny things on Bongino today was he was talking about this news reporter and Biden's, who said she actually came out on the air and he said, Well, if Joe Biden made all this extra money, how come it doesn't show up on his tax returns?
And Dan was just busting the
He was laughing his ass off. He says, yeah, I'm sure that drug dealers and line number 68, illegal cocaine sales money. 12. I'm sure they all put that on their tax returns.
Income.
You know, I like Bongino because he uses one of my favorite words, moron. And that's a word that describes some of these people. There's no better way to say it. They're just morons. You wonder how they make it through life. I can't blame a lot of people, though, because they're spoon-fed this crap day in and day out if they watch nothing but mainstream media. They never hear any real news. All they hear is the Pravda line of propaganda.
Yeah, it is. And there's just so much money. There's so much dirty money going on. And you know what's funny is everybody's talking about now this new group coming in from Central America that are supposed to be coming up, and, you know, they're supposed to stop in Mexico. One thing that they're not talking about, and you never hear about it, most of the people that are being caught crossing the southern borders here in California and Arizona are Chinese, Somalian, and from the Middle East, not Hispanics.
And people for some reason think that, and they don't realize that there's a lot of other people. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, our country is under attack from all over the world.
It has been for decades.
What did I hear this morning? I heard that I don't remember where I heard it. On Google they have or Facebook, was it Facebook or Google? One of those has a committee of people whose job it is to decide to write the algorithms to decide who get the censor stuff. And on this committee, 6 of the people on the committee are Chinese nationals that are here on work visas.
Yeah. And did you hear
nothing funny about that, is there?
Yeah, no. The Senate
makes a lot of
approved the
sense.
subpoena for Facebook, Twitter, and Google. They approved the subpoena today. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit ago.
I'll tell you what, Steve. If one day you guys go looking for my account and it's gone, deleted. Not that Google would never delete me. I'm too small and not controversial really at all. It would be because I deleted it, because I will have had enough. But as long as I can still watch Dan Bongino on YouTube, I'm still okay with it. You know what I mean? They may demonetize him, but they haven't cut him off. They haven't said, Mitch,
he went over to Rumble.
You can't watch. They said you can't. No, but nobody. Google has not told me I can't watch him. I'm not allowed to watch him. And the minute that happens, I'm done with Google. I'm done with Google. I'm done with YouTube. I'm done with their Google Fi phone. I'm done with the Google search engine. If I have to take all my computers and throw them in a trash can to be done with these people, I'm done with them. I'm not going to live. Not going to live censored.
I use DuckDuckGo. I don't use Google.
Yeah.
So do you think anything will come of them being dragged before the Senate? I mean, both Google and Facebook and Twitter people are being Twitter guys are being dragged before the Senate because of their censoring.
They may make a little dent. They may take a little chomp. They may slow them down or make them think twice. You know what it's like? It's like you're out driving, and a cop pulls you over, gives you a warning. For the next couple weeks, you're going to drive a little slower. It does something to your head. Yeah. When you get pulled over. If you get a ticket that costs you money, then you drive the speed limit for longer.
Well,
but I think
going after, it's just like this antitrust suit that the Department of Justice went after Google. That'll be like it was with Microsoft. That'll take 10 years before.
Oh yeah, all that stuff takes 10 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean,
we have lawyers on retainers, high-priced lawyers. It's BS. It's politics.
Well, I mean, like with Facebook and Twitter, they get a out from litigation because they're supposedly are free speech. But when they start censoring speech, that changes the rules, and that's why the Senate is up in arms about it.
Well,
Okay.
they're not considered a publisher, is what it is.
They have was it Section 230, a 230 exemption? Yeah, and basically they're not a publisher. They are a platform. They're like the podium in the town square. But what's happening is the podium in the town square is basically saying, not you. You can't talk here. You're not allowed to talk here. Well, then it's not the.
They got a handle up there, and you drop down.
You drop down. Yeah, that's not being a platform anymore. That's being a publisher, and publishers can be sued.
And I don't think they should take away 230. What they should do is specifically take it away from the ones that are breaking it. So the ones that are doing it responsibly, they can still use it. But when you've got people like on Facebook and Twitter did with this Biden thing, excuse me, I don't care which side of the fence you're on. When you have two major corporations, and the algorithms in Google doing the same thing, that this speech is not getting out there, that should scare the hell out of you, no matter what side of the fence you're on.
It does. It does. And will enough people like Bongino try to steer new organizations like Rumble and Parler and those that aren't controlled by these. And what I don't understand is what the hell, why do these people not, do they just hate? Why do they're making a fortune in a country that allows them to. Why do they want to take us back to the dark ages? What is it with them? Is it all just Trump hatred?
Why are we still doing this?
Is that what it's all about?
He's exposed what they've been doing.
I want to know.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that he did, and that's why he got impeached. I mean, Bongino, if anybody has not watched Dan Bongino's show or listened to his podcast today, if you can get a liberal to listen to that and sit still long enough without telling you it's just a Russian conspiracy, it would be major. I think they are changing some minds, and I still kind of optimistic that this election is going to be a runaway for Trump.
I certainly hope so. I wonder, Mitch, this has me wondering, okay, because of some of the things that Trump has said. Because here in both, I'm in St. Johns County, Duval County, just to the north of me. That's Jacksonville, but it's like, I don't know, there's a lot more mail-in and early voters on the Democrat side. But I'm thinking because of some of the things that Trump has said, that a lot of the Trump people are waiting till the end to actually vote.
Or they're voting in person. Like I did.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he means. Vote in person or mail-in.
No doubt about it. I think he should vote in person. That's, I said a little while ago. I said Trump's got to win. He's got to get a 10-point edge just to overcome the fraud to win. So in other words, he's got to win just so it appears that it was close. He has to win by 10%.
Yeah, and
then they'll say he won by 2 votes. Because of the amount of fraud on the other side is enormous. And it's been that way ever since the election of John F. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I told you here, just in 2018, 5 of the counties here, anywhere between 3% and 13% more ballots were cast than registered votees here in counties in California.
Who's doing a great...
California is a special case.
Yeah, but you have New York, Chicago, Minnesota, Wisconsin. You've got all the other states, Florida, that are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, what are you waving at? Drone bum here.
Oh, hey, Paulie, how you doing, buddy?
At least Florida wasn't sending out mail-in ballots that weren't requested.
That's true.
Yeah, Florida. Don't forget, Florida's at least got a Republican governor who seems to be on top of this somewhat. But
You guys are pretty much open, right, for business? Now
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
up to people to
Yeah,
decide whether
I
they
went out
want
to
to or not.
lunch. I went out to lunch today with my son and walked into the restaurant. And the last time I was at the restaurant, every other table had a sign on it that said, can't you? Today, every table was open. I said,
Cool.
And
every
mask
table's
required
open.
to go
She says-
in or no?
She said, no. She said, oh, yeah, we're at 100% capacity. The server was wearing a mask, but how do you eat with a mask on? There wasn't a soul in there with a mask on.
No, you can't eat with a mask.
Oh well, Newsom came out with this new sign. It sits there and shows you with a mask on while you're ordering. Your food's down there. He wants you to pull your mask down, eat, and
That's
put
crazy.
your mask up.
Yeah, that's nice.
No way.
So what have you just doing? You cross-contaminated, and the chances
Everything.
of transmission is far greater by doing that.
Why do you guys put up with that shit?
We don't.
I don't.
I don't wear a mask. I do not wear a mask.
I wear a mask when
I'm
I
sorry,
have to
your
go
governor
into a
is an
place to
idiot.
shop. If I have to go into shop, like
That's it.
Costco,
You have to.
doesn't matter where you're at. Costco, you have to wear a mask. That's corporate. Their corporate rules.
No, just
I'll
about
respect
everywhere you
that.
walk into a store, you have to wear a mask. Other than that, I'm not wearing a mask.
It's off the moment I
Yeah.
take it. The moment I get
And
out,
even when
it's
I
off.
wear it,
It's-
my nose is sticking out because I cannot breathe with the mask on.
yeah.
It's just-
Okay, guys, if you're wondering why I'm chuckling, it's the antics of our next panel member, and you know who it is.
I know who it is.
You know who it is. If I crack up, you know who it is. And
You can leave him down there.
although he needs no introduction, I'm going to see how long I can get him to hold the pose. Okay,
He's
he's holding
pointing
the
up
pose,
or
guys.
down.
He's holding the pose.
Yeah,
No, he's doing it. He's
power.
doing it. He's holding the pose. I bet you I could get him to sit that way for a half an hour.
Ken has power. I don't ever remember seeing you,
Yeah.
Ken. Hey, Art.
Woohoo. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Art.
Hey, Ed, Mitch,
Hello, Art.
Steve, Carlos.
Good evening.
Yep.
Mike Nitrin, and I know I've said this on another stream, but he made a point, and it might sound silly, but you fart through a pair of underwear and pants and you still smell it. What is a mask going to do for you?
Yeah, and maybe if it was a surgical mask or a respirator or something that filtered out 3 micron particles.
Yeah.
Even
But
that.
Well, here
well, you know,
in,
there's 2 schools of thought on that. Hey, Ron
Ron
Lockwood's
Lockwood
here too.
just-
Hi,
Yeah, hey, Ron.
How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, Ron.
in Denver, well, where I work, everyone has to wear a mask inside.
Yeah, my wife does.
Yeah.
She's day one.
I couldn't do that.
And let's see, Adams County, Denver County, and I think Arapahoe County, masks are mandatory indoors. I mean, if you're in a shopping center or a business, and outdoors now, because we had a bit of a
Outdoors?
spike.
I mean, to me, that is just freaking stupid.
I know,
To wear a
I know.
mask outdoors. You know what
Mhm.
else I see? I see these idiots driving around in their car.
Yep,
They're by themselves. There's
they
no one
got a
else,
mask.
and they're wearing a freaking mask.
Wait,
Mhm.
Ed, you forgot to say windows closed.
Yeah.
Yes, the windows are closed.
Windows
I'm
closed.
like,
And then
come
I
on,
like
man,
I
you
like
fat
joggers.
girl.
Joggers are doing it. How can you
Yeah,
jog with a mask on?
Joggers, people on hiking
crazy.
trails, bicyclists. I mean,
I'm trying to get this paper towel to stick up under my headphones
There you go.
because I'm afraid of catching COVID from you guys.
There you go. Be careful. Be very careful.
There we go.
yep,
Now, if I don't move, we'll be okay.
yeah.
Freeze frame.
Probably the only time now that you can go into a bank with like dark sunglasses and a mask legally.
And a mask on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny when we were going into Costco. I'm sitting there going, went there, and then I went to the bank. I says, "Can you imagine just a year ago if you would have walked into a bank with a mask on?"
Oh, no kidding.
Actually,
they would have ushered you right out the
Mhm.
you can actually. I think a bandana is considered enough, right? You can wear a bandana.
Yeah.
So imagine a bandana like the
California.
Wild West with the mask
Yeah.
on and glasses.
I think we
cowboy
all
hat.
want to wear ski masks.
Yeah,
No,
there
you have to
go.
have at least the face. But I hear you.
Well, a little nose, sew a little mask over the nose hole on a ski mask.
I have one of those.
Well,
It's a good idea.
you know, they've got these leather ones that have the zipper.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I want to know why you know about those, Art. That's the scary.
Yeah, Art, how do you know about those things, Art?
You know, I was
I've
thinking
been
about
hanging
you, Art.
around with Jeffrey Tubin.
You probably don't have
God.
to. Oh, jeez. You probably don't have to worry too much about COVID as much as regular people because you're down lower. It's usually up higher. So, just a thought.
That was so politically incorrect, Carlos.
Yeah, come on. He's a comedian. He's supposed to be able to take jokes.
Whatever
hear
made
about-
you think Carlos was politically correct?
That's a true statement.
I got a good point there, Ed. Yes, you do.
That's a point. I know with like Ron said, their governor in South Dakota, Kristi Noem, not only is she doing the right thing, she's a hottie too.
Yeah,
She
she-
that's
is a
important.
hottie,
Mhm.
I agree,
Yeah.
Steve.
And that matters. And
Yeah.
that really matters because,
The best one is when they
People vote for look. Yep.
when Trump, was going in for the Mount Rushmore event.
yeah.
They had all the people out there, and they had OAN News was out there and everything, and they were shooting the whole entire day, just walking, talking with people, and you could see some of the people kind of staring them, looking down. So you looked up to where they had removed the tires from their vehicles in order to block the entrance. Well, little did they know, she was already in there along with other people, but they
Yep.
already had the military SWAT team on the other side of them that had gone in there even earlier, came in to clear it out. So she goes on in, and the best part of it is on the one flyby was the picture of Air Force One flying in with all the protesters sitting there, standing in a line and sitting down, and Air Force One is flying right in over the top, and you can see Mount Rushmore. I thought that was the cream of the crop. Because the photo I sent of to Ron, it shows Kristi Noem out in this field, and she goes, "This is how we social distance." Turns around, she's wearing a shotgun vest, 12-gauge shotgun. Birds come flying by, boom, boom, takes them down. So Ron Ron's in love.
We got a gal here in Colorado running for Congress who's a hottie, Lauren Boebert. She's the owner of Shooter's Grill in Rifle, Colorado, where all the wait staff carry.
Yep.
You said white or wait?
Oh, really? They carry, do they? That's pretty cool.
But Art, didn't you have some lady on your show that was a gun instructor or pistol instructor or some
that
woman?
was Karen Murray.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was easy on the eyes too.
Yes.
And handles a gun.
Yep. I've known her for over 30 years. I knew her when she was a waitress at the heavy metal club I used to go to.
Nice.
Wow.
Quick hello to Mr. Bob Casey.
Bob Casey, come on down.
Yeah, right.
Brother,
I guess he's feeling better at this point. Hey, you know what I'd like to talk about? Not politics, but kind of related. The Federal
go ahead.
Reserve. The Federal Reserve. What do you guys think
Why?
about the Federal Reserve? Because they're the only people that can
I'd
write
like
a
to-
check without any money in the bank.
I'd like to reserve my comments on that, Carlos.
yeah, right.
You have to reserve it because there's nothing to reserve.
Telling you.
It's just another scam, basically, I think.
The way
Yeah,
I
but
look at
From
it,
what I understood is, go ahead, Ed.
let them keep printing money as long as I can spend it in the paper crap that ain't worth the crap. As long as I can spend it and I get what I want, I don't care.
Well, they lend money to the government, and then the government taxes us, and they
How
get
do
paid.
they have money to lend? They don't have any money to lend.
Well, yes, but they still write checks,
Yeah.
and then
It's
we
called
pay
print
interest.
treasury
money.
bills.
We pay
They
interest.
print money.
It's all they're just moving paper around. That's all it is.
No, they print it, but then they get paid interest when they get paid back. That's a great scam. I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Do you imagine I
Hey,
write a
Jim.
check to Art, Art spends it and pays me interest, but I have nothing.
I
to
don't
do.
even try and
I'm
understand.
stimulating the economy.
That's crazy stuff. Funny
And
money.
then
That's right.
I buy stuff, and that gets trickled down in the economy, and that helps hire people, and they become taxpayers, and that increases revenue.
Yeah, but the revenue for what? To go where and to do what?
Yeah,
With?
I know. Look, man, it's all very mysterious.
Hi, Mel.
As long as it's
Mel is here.
Yes.
Mel has been flying his Microsoft Flight Simulator. Where'd you go, Mel? Did
cool.
you and did you get there safely?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take it back. I think that simulator helps a little bit with helping.
What velocity?
you
You
to
mean
fly.
the drone simulator?
Yeah,
It does.
it does give
It
you
really
a little bit of a helping hand.
yeah.
It gives you a lot of
Well,
help.
everybody but
I
Ed.
think it's
It
helped
helps
me a
everybody
lot.
but Ed. Oh, Ed, I want to see
Yeah.
footage of the place that you went flying. You said you went to a new spot. Quick ride, quick pack.
The flying Microsoft Flight Simulator is like if you're flying a regular airplane.
Oh, I understand.
That's not what Carlos is not talking about. That simulator. I think he's
Yeah, I'm
talking
talking
about
about
Velocidrone or a
No,
drone
that's
simulator.
That's what Mel was talking about.
Yeah, but we don't care
Yeah.
about what Mel's talking about.
Well, yeah, we do. We care, but
I'm just kidding.
we're
I'm
not
just
saying
kidding.
that Microsoft Flight Simulator is good for quads. It's
No,
Hey,
it's not.
that's cool, Mel. I actually have many hours in a Cessna 172. I have more hours in a Cessna 172 than any plane. And when I say hours, I mean real hours.
Probably have more flying in that than drones.
I do. I have hours and hours and hours.
No, I would never want you to leave, Mr. Mel. I'm just breaking your chops.
But I mean,
Forgive me.
hours and hours and hours in many much grander planes than that.
Yeah.
Because I know Mitch is actually a pilot, a real.
But anyway, I think it does help.
The whole nine. I know, Mitch. It's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure you have an instrument rating too, don't you?
Oh yeah. And I'm a pilot because sometimes I pilot over here, and then other times I'll pilot right over there. You know, I have many piles here of things, so I pilot. Yeah, no, Ed, I have all. I have them all, man. I have CFI, multi-engine. I mean, instrument flight instructor, instrument rating, multi-engine rating, airplane rating. Yeah, did a lot of flying.
The guy I used to fly with, my mentor. I actually started ground school and took one official flying lesson, but Larry, my mentor, let me fly all the time. He said, "I'm really not supposed to teach you how to fly because I don't have instructor training, but here you go."
He can listen. He can teach it.
I'm down with that.
He can teach you to fly all he wants, but you can't log it as flight instruction time because he's not a flight instructor.
I know. I actually started keeping a logbook. You know.
Yeah.
I had 2 logbooks.
Official and unofficial.
Yeah, and I only had one entry in the official one. It's one of those $50 introductory flight lessons. So after we landed, the instructor told Larry, she goes, "He turns nice." You know, thinking to myself, yeah, because Larry taught me how to turn nice. That's why.
Well, you got to have logbooks because, especially if you're a student, because that's where we would put all your stamps, all your endorsements.
Exactly.
Record the check rides in the logbook. That was your record of having accomplished all that stuff.
Now, do proctologists have logbooks?
I don't know about that, Art.
I guess so. Why not?
Yeah.
Mitch,
He's coming, Carlos. He's coming to defend himself, Carlos. Carlos.
Oh, Mel. It must be Mel.
He's coming in here to defend himself.
Mitch.
That's right. That's right, Carlos. Put him up. Put him up.
Wait a minute. Let me get the two of you down here next to each other. There you go.
There you go.
Mitch, on and this has nothing to do with you, Mel. On that comment from Art, I have to be able to do. I got to go over to the building. So thank you,
I
sir,
I almost didn't come in, Steve, because of that. You know.
I just want to remind you all about a clip from a movie called The Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds. And at one point, they got the proctologist. That was the only doctor they could find for
I remember him. Yeah.
And Burt Reynolds says, "So what instruments do you have?" He goes, "All I need is this."
Yeah. What was his name? Elam? Jack Elam? What was his name? That guy that played
Jack
that.
Elam. Yeah.
Played
He's
that
the guy
proctologist.
Well, he looks like Ed with one eye.
Who was it? Yeah, I remember that proctologist from Cannonball Run. Yeah.
So, Mitch, thank you. Art, good to
Oh,
see
Steve,
you.
thanks for coming in, buddy.
Take care, Steve. Good to see
Everybody
you.
in chat, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
And Steve, straighten him up in California, will you?
Yeah.
Straighten him up already.
I'm doing my best, let me tell you.
Okay.
Move the hell out of there is what he needs to do.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Anyway,
He'll never get
JSK
out of there.
Steve Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen.
He's invested in
Enterprise
that.
said hello to everyone.
So
Mitch,
Mel,
did I just hear you say you're a CFI?
I am.
Well, shit, man. We need to have a few lunches together over some.
Yeah,
flight
but
instruction.
I can't legally teach you now. I
Why not?
was a C. Well, because a CFI, you have to be current in order to teach, and I'm not.
Well, yeah,
current.
you have to be current to fly too, but you know.
Yeah, and I'm not current to fly either. I haven't done any real piloting in probably 5 years. So because and why should I bother spending the money to get check rides and get current when I'm not going to use it? So,
Yeah.
but I have the ratings, and I could, should I want to go through all the drills of getting re-examined again, activate them. But I don't want to giving flying lessons was the single most dangerous thing I ever did in my life.
I wouldn't give driving lessons.
With the average
Yeah,
person,
I saw some
I
of those
agree.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, but I've had other people ask me that. They say, well, can you sign this shit off for me? I say, well, I could, but it wouldn't be legal.
right. When I had to quit because of finance reasons, I had my long cross country, my night landings, my check ride, and my written test to do, and that's all I had to do for my single engine land rating. So
Wow.
teaching me would be a little bit different than teaching somebody that's never done it before.
Probably wouldn't have to teach you. You
We'd have to go through most of the motions. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to do a check ride, but I'm not an FAA examiner either, so I couldn't actually give you an FAA flight test for your pilot's license. I could only sign off on your instruction.
You could sign off that I was ready for the FAA exam, though.
Did
you know what the scariest? What's that, Ed?
Did you get your private pilot's license, Mo?
What?
Did you get your private pilot's license?
I just said I had those 4 things to do, and because I ran out of money, I didn't.
No, I get the money thing. I understand that completely. Okay.
And not to mention, I was 19 when I was trying to pay for all this. So
a night fly is required for a private pilot's license?
Yeah, you need
in your training. You have to do 2 night landings
and cross countries.
But that's still what do they call it? VOR, not VOR.
No, VOR is a navigation device.
I understand that.
VFR. You're talking about VFR, visual flight rules.
Yes, visual. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah, everything. everything that I would have been doing would have been under VFR.
VFR, yeah. Well, even to get your private pilot's license, you still have a certain amount of IFR. You have
Hood
to
time.
hood training, recovery from unusual attitudes, that kind of thing. But
I had done all that stuff, Mitch. I had my 500-mile cross country. I'd done my 250, so I had my 500-mile cross country, my night landings, my written exam, and my flight exam, and that's all I needed.
What you needed. Okay, so you soloed then.
Oh hell, I soloed 4 hours shorter.
Soloed.
I soloed 4 hours quicker than my dad, and it made him mad. That's why he made me quit using our airplane to take my lessons and made me start renting one.
The average time to solo was like 7 to 10 hours.
Yeah, I soloed in 5.5. My dad soloed in 7.5 or something.
Yeah, if you couldn't solo by 15 hours, we used to recommend people not.
Now, see, that is something I've never done, Mel, and the solo part, and I would be freaking out, I think.
Oh, it's
Let me tell you about freaking out, Ed. You think the pilot who's soloing is freaking out. You be the guy who taught them
and told them to go solo.
Standing on the ground, watching them take off, saying, Jesus, did I remember to tell him this? Yeah. I'm sure I told him that as he's flying off into the wild blue yonder.
My instructor's name was Dave Hearing, and he told me, he said, I want you to, because we had just finished a lesson, and he said, well, you think you're ready to solo? I said, yeah, I think so. What do you think? He goes, hell yeah, you're ready. He said, pull over there by the fuel pump, and I'm going to get out. He said, here's what you're going to do. You're going to make a loop around the pattern. You're going to come back. You're going to do a full stop landing. If I wave you to go on, you go do another one. You're going to do 3 of those. Each time I wave you on, you go do another one. If I don't wave you on, you park it. You understand? I said, yes, sir. And he gave me 3 wave ons. So I did 3 pattern runs with.
That is the traditional first solo. 3 takeoffs and landings to a full stop. And then they take you back to the FBO and they cut the back out of your shirt.
Well, he didn't do that.
He didn't do that.
No, he didn't do that.
That is aviation. I mean, you go into any flight school and all you see is the cutout backs of shirts hanging on the wall with magic marker commemorating who the pilot was and what the date was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's like the first time you make a sale, the broker, they cut that tie.
Yeah.
And they put it up.
Yeah, cut the back out of the shirt.
No, he didn't do that. But I remember some fun things. You know, my dad had a PA 28181. That was the second plane we had. The first one was a Cherokee 140, and that's what I soloed in, was the 140. And
me too.
Then he bought the new airplane, and it was instrument rated, so he got his instrument rating after he bought the plane. And then I remember one time in particular, we all went from, now this is in Southern California, so we kept our airplane at Oceanside Airport. And his buddy, Fred Kiesel, they bought airplanes together. They always flew together. They flew in flight together quite regular, you know. And they were going to Palm Springs for lunch. Well, there wasn't enough seats for me. I was the odd guy out. So I rented a Cessna 150. And I left an hour and a half ahead of them to go from Oceanside to Palm Springs, which is, as the crow flies, maybe 100 miles or something. I don't remember the mileage.
With the 150, you would need a head start.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about a 90-mile-an-hour airplane versus a 140-mile-an-hour airplane. Yeah, you need a head start. So
the 150s were so much fun. I used to have so much fun in those little 150s.
I tell you, we got out there about just a little bit before going through Banning Pass. Here they came in Flight of 2 up under me, right? And when they passed me, they were on the ground in the van at transit parking, sitting in air conditioning, waiting for me to come in and land. It was about 120 degrees. So you can imagine what that Cessna 150 was doing on the hot blacktop, like not wanting to come down. I had a hell of a time getting it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'll tell you one thing about a Cessna 150. You throw full flaps on that thing, and it's coming down now. We used to take the 150 and just do touch and goes with it and never get more than a couple hundred yards away from the runway on either side, because you could be going downwind at 1,000 feet, throw those flaps, full flaps, and you needed a 30-degree nose down attitude just to maintain your airspeed with that much flap in that thing. It was crazy airplane.
Coming back through Banning Pass, I got caught in an updraft, Mitch. I'm flying on the upwind side of the canyon, right? Because Banning Pass is between two mountains, okay? And I got caught in an updraft, and that thing took my Cessna 150 to 10,200 feet before it turned me loose.
Cool.
Wow.
No, not cool. I was 40-degree nose down with full throttle. They're going up at 600 feet a minute, you know. But no, it was a lot of fun. I miss doing it. I wish I could.
I do too.
I wish I could go
occasionally,
finish getting it now, but now it's cost prohibitive.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why when I got my 107 as a pilot, I didn't have to go to take the ground test. As a pilot, I could have taken that stupid online test that we just took to extend for 6 months. The one that pilots take.
Yeah, but in order for you to fly on your pilot's license, you have to be current.
You have to current. Yeah, and it would have cost me 3 times as much
to get current,
get my pilot's license current as it would for the $150 to take that stupid test. Yeah, and since I had no intention of flying anyway, I said, okay. But I thought about it because I
don't know why you didn't stay current. I mean, why not?
Well,
I mean, what do you got to do? What is it to stay current? You got to log 2 full stop
number one,
landings.
you have to have a biennial check ride, which means you got to hire every 2 years. You have to hire a flight instructor, even if you aren't one, to go up with you. And you need to rent an airplane. And as you well know, as I've told people that, my life went to shit when I lost my company, and I just didn't have. I mean, flying and spending money on flying was the furthest thing from my mind. And and that's what I sold my last airplane because I needed the money, and that was pretty much the end of my flying career. And I can afford to probably fly now, but I know that the way I am, if I jump back into it, I would probably become obsessive about it, and I cannot afford
addictive
to own the kind of airplanes and insure them that I used to own, and I'm too old anyway. I mean, you get a point where they look at you when you go to, I'm 73 years old. You want to take your commercial flight physical? What?
Yeah.
Mr. Gary Huff.
I decided, between you and me, in life, you been there, done that syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I flew so much that it got to the point where I had airplanes in the hangar that I just didn't fly. They just sat there, and I would start to say, I better get out there and pull that thing out of the hangar, run the motor for it, rusts up. And once it gets to that point, why have them? Why have them anymore if you're not going to use them?
Hey.
Yeah. What does it cost for an hour of fuel, Mr.
Yes, Ed.
Wants to know.
I gotta go.
I don't know now.
All right, Ed.
Okay, take care, Ed.
Take it easy.
When you rent a plane, Carlos, the fuel is included in the hourly rate of the plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
But aviation fuel is probably $4 or $5 a gallon. Usually, that's what it's always been. It's usually about 2 to 3 times what the gas pump. 100 low lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a little bluish tint to it, your gas is good if you let something run on your hand. You wave your hand twice, and it's
gone. And it's dry. Yeah, that stuff is really volatile. It really evaporates fast. Yeah.
I know some guy was putting it in his car, and it's like, because he was wanting that octane.
Yeah, 100 octane.
It's like disappeared. And I'm like, your fuel system is not made for that gas.
No.
It just bleeds right out of it,
No ethanol in that stuff.
That's no kidding.
Talking about flying real planes has really got me going now because I used to live and breathe that, And but it's expensive compared to flying drones, and that's why I love flying the drones, the FPV, because that's the closest you can get without leaving the ground.
Yep.
Yes, that's one of the reasons that I like it so much with the goggles is because
you're up there.
You're up there flying around. Yeah. And actually most of flying, and Mel will tell you this, it's just boring as hell. You know, when you go on a trip from here to there, the fun part, you take off, you climb to altitude, and then you know, for 4 hours you're sitting there. You know, just
take off and land. That's
boring. Hours of sheer boredom punctuated by moments of sheer terror.
Exactly. That's what flying. That's the definition of flying. And
I mean, you come down to land in a place like the scariest landing I ever had was at MLB, Mitch, and it was
at Melbourne.
Yes, and me and my flying buddy had flown up from Lake Worth Airport, Lantana, and we flew up to MLB to pick up my brother Vic, who lives in Melbourne. And we picked him up because I was so in love with flying. I'm like, dude, I got to arrange to take you for a ride in a small plane. So we flew up to Melbourne, picked Vic up, and we went for a fly. He loved it, but it was windy as hell. We come in back to land at MLB to drop Vic back off, and there's this horrible crosswind. And Larry is like, okay, I can't believe why they're giving me this runway, but we're going to do it. He had to slip it in big time. I mean, he was like slipping the whole way in, and just to fight the wind. And so my brother was a little shaken up by it. Yeah, you know. Anyway,
that was the longest goodbye I ever freaking experienced.
Jesus. Yeah. See ya. Take care, buddy.
See you soon, Ed.
Did
you see what Ray Kelly wrote, Mr. Mitch? He said, I took 3 lessons and lost electronics, so that was a sign from God not to continue.
Oh, Ray? Yeah. Well, you know, you got to be able to handle emergencies. This was my Mel. You've probably seen this before, but this was one of my favorite little airplanes right here.
Yeah.
Look at the. I don't know if you can see me in there with the cloth helmet.
I was going to take notice of that.
Yeah, you look like Snoopy.
Yeah, because that's what you wore when you flew a biplane. I had a parachute on and cloth helmet, pair of David Clark's. Man, I was styling. You know,
you were in it, weren't you?
I was. Oh yeah, this is a little airplane too. This was kind of cool. This was a home built. This was a EAA.
I was gonna say, did you build it or did you build it or did someone else build it?
Someone else built it, but I had to pretty much finish building it. When I got it, the wings weren't on it, and
okay, so you had
I think I paid $7,000 for the airplane.
Yeah,
it was just. I told the story about it. It was the scariest thing I ever flew. It was a death trap. I mean, it amazes me I didn't kill myself in that thing. But that was me back in the day. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing like you. I wish you had no sunglasses to get a better look at you.
Yeah, but it does look like
no.
me.
When we were flying, we had to wear those. That was part of the rules.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise look.
Now, if I took the hat off, you'd say it looks like
that.
You'd say it looked like me if I took the hat off.
Stay with the cool rules.
Yeah. What about where is it? Here? This is the picture without the hat. Now, does that look like me?
A little older.
You know what? You just look a little heavier there.
What is
I
that?
was heavier there.
Is that a 310?
I was heavier. That's a Baron Beechcraft Baron 58 Baron 6 passenger.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Hey Mitch, I want to say hi real quick.
Look at that. No gray in the beard either. Look at that.
I see little specks. Just kidding. Michael McReynolds and
they made just for me.
Tinyhawk Power.
He joined.
Yeah, that was. Look at the cell phone. That was one of those Nokia phones.
Yeah,
I remember
look at that. Look at that old cell phone. Remember those?
Yeah. And the antenna pulled up.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I still have one of the little ones. I like those.
Anyway.
One of my dad's friends had a stagger wing Beechcraft.
Oh man, I'd love to have one of those. Those are classics. They're antiques now. Very expensive too.
I'd like to have another 140.
Really?
Economical, efficient, smooth flying airplane. Yep. I'd love to have one. If I owned one, then maybe I could afford to get my license.
Yeah. Yeah, that Staggerwing Beach had a big radial engine in it, man. Those were the days.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And when it came out, it was actually faster than any of the fighters that we had of the day.
Well, that's a long time ago, though. I mean, that was
back in the mid to late 30s. They made two models. One had retractable landing gear, and then the other one had what's called spats, where they weren't retractable. They had the teardrop shaped covering over the wheels.
Wheel pants.
Wheel pants.
Mitch and I said that at the same time.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he was landing at a small field in Idaho in the wintertime, and wingtip caught a snowbank as he was coming in, flipped it over. And the last time I saw that plane, he was finishing up the repair, and whoever did the wingtip repair screwed it up because he made a copy of the other wingtip, but he forgot that, you got to reverse the whole thing. You can't just turn it upside down.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Ray Kelly asks, I just saw this in the chat. How old were you there? Which picture was that, Ray? The picture with me standing there next to the biplane? That was taken in the...
I'm going to guess 43 years old.
I was probably in my early 40s at that point, yeah. Probably in the 80s, sometime in the 80s. It all blends together, Isn't that right, Mel? Just all...
Yeah, it sure does.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
Wait,
remember
Mel's
what was
not
10
that
years
old.
ago?
How
What
old
was
is Mel?
Mel's getting up there.
Are you over 60, Mel?
No.
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
That's right. You just turned 60, didn't you?
No.
How old are you now? 63?
61 now.
61. You're way over
not that
60.
old.
Yeah.
So I'm just, he didn't ask how far over 60. He said, are you over 60? I'm looking for
61 in January.
You will be?
Mm-hmm.
I've got.
I just turned 58. I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, well, it happens, doesn't it?
Little aches and pains in the shoulders, stuff like that.
You think? Yeah.
Oh,
tell me
man.
about it.
Yeah. Wait till you get up there a little more there, Carlos. You
It's
get
the
aches and
repetitive
pains in
motion.
the shoulders and neck and hips and
And
ankles.
your back.
And
I'm
your back.
hoping not. I'm hoping not.
Well,
Stay active. That's the key.
Yes,
I
you got to
stayed.
keep moving.
Ankles, too.
I stayed really active. Moving those X-ray machines and things for many, many years. So I'm kind of wondering how come I'm hurting so bad. And then I thought it's because you moved 4,000-pound machines for so many years.
Yeah, and you helped and you carried shit up Ken Herron's steps.
Yeah.
Just recently, right?
Robert Glazier's going to be 62. Hey, this is an OG show, man. This is a great.
Old
Great
guy?
to see it. Old guy show. Yeah.
Michael
Reynolds, 62. Yeah. No wonder people tune in here.
I think Bob
identify
Casey
with the name. They identify with the name of the show. Old guy.
Is Bob Casey old? I heard he writes his names with Roman numerals. His birthday.
Bob Casey, the same age as me, or right close to it.
Yeah.
We're just a few days apart on our birthdays, I think.
Mm-hmm.
49.
Van Halen was 65 when he passed away.
I'm actually looking for some pictures, Mitch, that I'll show you one if I can find them.
Bob Casey said 60.
Oh, he's a baby. He's only got 2 years on me. You guys are all young then, as far as I'm concerned.
We're old.
You're all young.
Gary Haupters get 67. Yeah, you guys are. Come on, somebody be older. Can't anybody be older than me? Please, somebody.
What are you going to be, 73 next one?
I'll be 74 the next one.
Oh, really?
74 the next one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In May. Coming up in May.
Than half the people. that are your age. So you're doing good.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky, I guess. Yeah.
Pete Nunez
Pete,
almost
Yeah.
60.
It's 59.
There's times I'll tell you what. There's. I feel it. I can. You know. I mean, maybe I've stole an extra 10 years somewhere. Maybe I should feel like a 65-year-old, but it takes its toll on little things like my skin. You know, I keep having to go to the damn dermatologist and having burned precancers off. You know, and that was something my father and grandfather had all his life was, you know, the sensitive skin like that.
It has nothing to do with the sun.
Back. I've had a bad back for 40 years. My back's been bad, so I have to manage that. So you know, I feel it. Believe
Which
me.
part of your back? Lower
my
back?
lower back. Yeah, the two L5 and 6 down there. You know.
But that cancer stuff isn't from sun in Florida and just living in the.
Well, it's from sun all my life. You know, it's cumulative, right. And I wear. I mean, I always wear a hat. Mm-hmm. But I just from a lifetime of being outdoors, especially with this model, you know, flying RC, I was always outside flying, mm-hmm. And I wore a hat, but that's why I got the damn melanoma on my nose. I had that melanoma 6 years ago, was it? I had that big spot on my nose and had it all my life. Doctors told me it was just like a hyperpigmentation. It was like a freckle. And all of a sudden, one time it started getting dark. So, doctor looked at it, said, "You need to get." You know, really once they start,
it was getting brown, wasn't it?
Well, it started to get black actually, and it started to. It started to scared the shit out of me. I went there and they took a biopsy of it. And they come back and said, "You got malignant melanoma." I said, "Well, should I start planning my funeral?" That was my words exactly when he told me. And I said, he said, no, not yet. He said, it's real early. He said, it's only in the top layer of skin. Yep. So I got it early enough. And, but that didn't stop him from cutting a nickel size, maybe even bigger than a nickel size out of the skin on the top of my nose. And they cut a piece of skin off my shoulder and grafted it onto my nose, and I had a skin graft to cover my whole friggin' nose. Yeah, because that was the size of the margins that they needed to make sure they got it all
right.
So
Cancer's no joke.
No, and that's why I go to so I can be a victim and claim I'm a survivor like all these other people who claim they're survivors. Like, you know, I'm a survivor of the school shooting. You were nowhere near the shooting, but I'm a survivor. You know, everybody wants to be a survivor. So I could claim I'm a cancer survivor and maybe garner some sympathy. Probably not, though.
I feel sorry for you, Rich. I feel bad.
I know. That's it. I just want people to feel sorry for me. That's all.
But would you really want to do that, though, Mitch?
No, you know I don't.
Yeah.
It was, and then it was what you know. I don't understand how some people like poor old Rick Halber, how he goes through some of the stuff that he went through. I was so miserable just with this stupid nose thing. Somewhere
I would go crazy. I've never spent a day in the hospital. That would drive me nuts.
I wasn't in the hospital.
Yeah, but still, like when you were talking about Rick Howard, that would make me crazy. I would get sicker if I stayed in the hospital.
Oh, you poor babies! Try 6 months like I did.
Well, you know, you've definitely paid your dues in what you've had to put up with, and I've already said I don't know how you get from day to day sometimes.
Yep.
Here's a
I've
picture.
had 10 operations on each leg. Going from my hips all the way down to my feet.
Took me a while to find it.
Share it, Mel.
I did.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, look at you. That's a Cherokee one. That's a 140, isn't it?
That's a 140. 2711 Tango. Yep. And I'm sitting there preparing my logbook and stuff because I'm getting ready to go fly.
Cool.
That was our airplane right there.
Very cool.
First one we owned.
Yeah. That's the airplane I first started one. I got my first solo, my private pilot's license was on a Cherokee 140. And I still to this day, Mel, remember which direction to turn the crank to trim up and down.
Yeah. I'd have to look at it. I don't remember that.
The crank
Mitch,
on the
I
ceiling.
thought your first plane was a Jenny.
Art Carlson, ladies and gentlemen, let's say goodnight to Art.
It's nice for you to come in, Art.
Yeah. Here, I was going to show you. I was going to show you guys this picture. This just to show you. There's what was on my nose. See?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see that? That was and that was before it actually became cancerous. That's what it looked like. It was brown and it looked like a big freckle. It just looked like a freckle. It wasn't always there, but it took like 15 years to get to that point. And the doctors would say, no problem, don't worry about it. So I didn't worry about it. And all of a sudden I had to start worrying about it. So if you get any of those things, keep an eye on them.
Yep. I had a spot on my back between my shoulder blades below my neck. The doc took a chunk out and sent it off to pathology and came back B9. So I'm ready for bingo.
You ready to see something really scary? This is I just found this picture. I don't know why I keep these things, but
no.
A little bit more and you could have played a role in The Mummy.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. Look at that bandage. And keeping that stupid bandage on there was such a pain in the ass, but you can see how happy I look about it.
You look sad. I was just going to say, you look sad and miserable, man.
I was so, and my mustache, look how my mustache is growing. Yeah. My mustache is growing down over my mouth because I usually keep my beard trimmed up pretty well. And it was horrible. It was horrible. But,
Mr. Dave Sandusky has joined your
3-4 months. 3-4 months of nonsense with that stupid nose because it's a very inconvenient place, right? Stuck right up there in your face like that. And
in your case, it's a good thing you didn't keep an eye on it or you'd be cross-eyed the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's true. but it actually came out pretty nice. If you look real close, you can see the scarring. But all in all, I don't even care. But I got to hand it to the dermatologist. He did a pretty nice job. And then for the first 2 years after that happened, I had to go back every 3 months for a complete, examination, your whole body, just to make sure that that there was nothing malignant. And they check your glands, they check you and they check every square inch of your body to see if there's something growing. And then after 2 years of that, he went back to every 6 months. And now I go every 6 months in and get checked out. And he comes at me with the nitrogen and just like up here, burns shit off my head with it. This is going to sting a little bit, he says.
Rick Halber has one of those on his tongue, he says.
Yeah, he had to have surgery on his tongue.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this was a while back now.
He says he has one. I have one on my tongue. Oh, no.
I had a cast that went from my foot all the way up and around my hip. And when they took that cast off, all that dead skin just peeling off. Oh,
God, do we sound like a bunch of old ladies sitting around a lunch table comparing our illnesses and operations? God. I hope it would never
right
come
here,
to this.
I have a
the
scar.
big thing that I love is
broke my heart.
I used to go into the hot tub. Oh, the whirlpool tub. Oh,
Carlos.
boy, you're like in heaven right after you get that cast off. You're like, oh, yeah, I love that.
Ken Hofbauer wants me to change my name. Old guy with a shitload of drones.
Show him your other backdrop there, Mitch.
The backdrop for the
workroom. The workroom backdrop. I think it is.
Yeah.
It was painful. Agent K cheated on me. 17 years old.
This one. There it is. The old guy.
There you go.
The old guy workshop. Yeah, I got a newer picture of the wall. You see the picture on the wall?
I got to relieve you of some of
Yeah.
those. Don't forget.
I had to get rid of that picture so I could put another row of quads in.
Make
So now
more room. Yeah.
make more room. Yeah, I ran out of room, so the picture's gone now. There's another row of quads in there. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's funny. I got to do something because I got fixed wings hanging all over in my bedroom. So I'm trying to figure out a way to. They're all hanging on the wall, you know. I'm trying to figure out a way.
Yeah.
Can you do like
I got a spare bathroom
from the ceiling? Hang them?
No, I haven't hung them from the ceiling yet. I got them all stuck to the wall.
Oh, I used to do that when I was in junior high and high school. I had a 3-foot wingspan B-52 hanging off my ceiling.
I got mine tail to nose like this, so that the wings don't over. You know how you park an airplane, how you park them in rows, Mitch. You park them facing opposite directions. Yeah, that's how they're hanging on the wall in there.
Oh.
Hey, everybody say hi to Craig Yarker, man.
Hey,
Kiwi,
Craig.
how you doing, buddy?
Good to see
you. From down under, man.
Mm-hmm.
Friday lunch from the future.
The
get visits
Mad
from
Kiwi.
Oh,
Touch your lens.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that's
I just
Mad
have to
Kiwi,
sit
Craig.
back like this.
There we go.
Yeah, that's my new trick of getting back in focus. Is just sit back.
Let it find you again.
Yeah, it does. It's this Logitech 920 for some reason. It's set to autofocus, but
I've got
certain
that.
times, certain places
I've
that I
got the
move are
same
ways
one. I
that
have
move
no
those-
problems with.
Of course
Yeah,
not.
I got the 922, and then my secondary camera that I use on the desk is a 920.
I got that old this one. Remember this one?
Yeah,
This
that's
view.
the shot I do with my 920 right there.
Yeah, this is an old Logitech, like 510 or something. I mean, really.
Hey,
old.
you know, for the shot though, I mean, does it really matter?
No, it doesn't.
That
It works.
That
It works.
it's
Works pretty
720
good.
instead of 4K. I mean, it really don't matter. I mean, it does what you need it to do. If you want to point something out to somebody, you know, we can see what all this stuff is.
Man, that's
Well, I
busy.
can point
Rich.
out
That is busy.
my beautiful head here.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
But
You ever think of a little
with
ponytail?
with
I
that-
thought I'm working on it.
I think
I'm
you
almost
should
got a
try
mullet
one.
going on here. Yeah.
Definitely a ponytail.
I'd look like they told me I'd look like a South American drug dealer if I slicked my hair back into a ponytail with
Slick my hair back, you mean?
Oh,
my hair
about
back. Yeah.
that guy from Hardcore Pawns. He wore a ponytail and his hair was slicked back.
Mitch can get away with a ponytail. Definitely.
Nah, I like it. I like it short like it is. And the thing that still amazes me is that it's still brown back there. It's still I mean, I don't color my hair. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my natural color. And I mean, my beard is gray, but I don't
Yeah, it's the
wouldn't-
same,
why
same way
would
with
I?
mine.
Yeah, your hair is dark up on top.
It's all, you know, got the good color in it, but my beard is fading away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it goes first. I remember when I first started to get some gray in my beard, and I'm trimming my beard, and I'd look down at the shavings, and you'd see the salt and pepper in the shavings, and you go, "Oh shit, here we go." You'd say, "Here we go," down the ramp into old age. You know.
Yep. Same with mine. When I grow a beard, it's almost snow white with patches of it's weird. I have brown hair, but when I grow facial hair, it's black. I don't know why.
It's strange.
Freaky.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't like facial hair. It's itchy.
So I may actually get to fly tomorrow morning.
Actually, if you let it grow out, it quits itching. I don't know if it
tried
quits or
it.
you
I
just
tried
get so
it.
used to it that it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yeah.
See, like that's why I can't keep it short like Mitch. That would drive me nuts.
It's just really.
Yeah. If it's that short, maybe not that short, maybe yours is a little bit long for that, but there's a certain point where it drives you nuts.
It itches, yeah. Well, if it itches if you shave it off, and when it starts to grow back out again is when you get the itching. It doesn't. I haven't been bothered. Of course, I've had this beard since 1970.
Well,
1970. I got out of the Army in June of 1970 and immediately grew the beard.
And so what, you're about 10 years older than me, right? Roughly?
yep.
Yeah.
Plus or minus?
Yeah.
Well, see, yeah, mine's from like 1980.
Yeah. So 1970, I grew this beard. My son, my first child, was born in November of 1970. So he's going to be 50. He'll be 50 years old next month, my son. And he's never seen me without a beard. Not even when he was a 2-year-old. I had a beard from before he was born, and never, not once, ever shaved it off.
I've done it twice.
Hey,
Bill,
never have. I'm afraid to see what I look like without it. So,
Mitch, thanks for the email with the invite in it, but I got to run.
Oh, anytime. Well, we're going to close it down here pretty soon. Art's going to have to bail. Ken Heron just called, wondering where he was.
Oh,
and
okay. Well, thanks for the invite, Art. Carlos,
my pleasure, Mel.
Everybody
Always
in
good
chat.
To see you, buddy.
Good to see you, Mel.
Have a good night.
We'll see you all later.
See you Saturday.
Take care.
Keep smiling.
Bye.
Bye bye. That was
I'm
Mel
doing
400
a Halloween
AGL.
special on the 31st.
Uh-oh. That sounds
Halloween.
So it'll be a fun show.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Are you
Well,
gonna dress up?
I guess we'll wrap it up here.
Okay.
And
Good. I'm gonna go eat some din.
done enough. And I wanted to talk about one other little thing. Take a minute.
Okay.
I was seriously thinking about shortening my little Thursday show to a 1 hour from 7 to 8 instead of 6 to 8. What do you think of that?
7 to 8.
Yeah, instead of 6 to 8. 6 is tough for people to get to, and
I'm
I do
good either way.
Yeah, I do
Personally.
2 hours on Sunday, and it's just a lot. It's a lot of being on the air. To do 4 hours a week is filling up that kind of time is just it's a lot. It's a lot, and so I may cut it back. I'll if I decide to do it by next week, I'll post a little thing in YouTube, a community post that says. But so next week, if I make that decision, and I'll probably announce it for sure on Sunday, so we'll know. But I'm thinking that 1 hour would be more than enough of me, on Thursday. Don't you guys think? I mean, I would certainly get tired of me after more than an hour.
Every night for 1 hour. Mr.
Every
Ken.
night for 1 hour. I don't have it in me, man. The pay isn't enough for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But,
Mitch,
anyway.
I'm going to go eat some din. Art, keep flying.
All right, buddy.
You?
Take care, Carlos.
Okay,
And, one day I'm going
I
to
will.
surprise you and just come driving and knock on your door and say hello.
Yeah. Now let me know you're coming first, though.
Of course, definitely. All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
All right.
Hi.
I'll see you Sunday. Take
Yes, sir.
care, Carlos. Arthur.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for having me. Had a good time, and
Always fun,
I
man.
will
Always a
see
good
you
time.
Saturday then.
I will see you on your show Saturday night, and then on my show on Sunday night. Man, we sure are tearing up the airwaves, you and me.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. All right.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Here's
Good night.
your play out music. There it is. Hit the
All
button.
right. Bye-bye.
You missed the cue again. What am I going to do with him? Oh, okay, everybody. Thanks for coming in. That went fast. It really did. Had a nice show. Thank you to my guests who came in. We had Chris Hope for a little while, and Carlos, and Art, and Mel, and Steve Carpenter was here. Thank you all for gracing my panel. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking to you, and everybody in the chat too who came in. Bob Casey, Agent K. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. It is. And we must turn it over to the great one, Rick Halber, buddy. Hope you're feeling well. Thanks for coming in, Carlos. Thanks again, Robert Glazier. Thanks for being here. Pete Nunez. See you tomorrow morning, buddy. Ken Hoffnauer, thank you, man. Thanks for coming in. And Craig Mad Kiwi, good day, mate. There you go. It's my best down under accent. Hot Rod, good to see you. Ray Kelly, thank you, man. Good to see you. Bill, Metrodrones, thanks again for the support, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you again soon on the panel. Who else? Hot Rod, Kiwi, Ken going back from the sky. I don't know. Jody, I think, ran off to Mike's Night Train stream. Dave Stradinsky was in here. I didn't even see that. If you're still here, thanks for coming. Yeah, it's just tough to keep up with the chat sometimes when you're trying to do these shows. That's why you rely on your panel. Michael McReynolds was here, and Agent K, thank you so much, my friend. Always contribute. Keep us laughing. He says he never heard me do an accent. I'm not much for accents, but good day, mate. I can do that. I watched a few Michael Caine movies and Shrimp on the Bobby, that kind of thing. Not an actor. Oh, there's Jody. He's still here. Good, Jody. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for being first. So with that, we're going to call it a night. Put on a little traveling music. In fact, let me get I should do this every time. But I should go back to the beginning of this, to my theme. There we go. And play it out with that. So, as I always say, take the rest of the day off. Go play with your drones. And have a good Friday and a great weekend. Don't forget to vote. I can't tell you who to vote for, but you know who to vote for. So, make sure you get out there and do the right thing, whatever that may be for you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my trusty sidekick, Spank the monkey, and Spanky will say goodnight.